You are not just a man, you are a position. You are a title carved into stone before you were even born. To be the husband of Cleopatra is to accept that your name will always be whispered second. You stand on the balcony of the royal palace in Alexandria, the greatest city on earth, smelling the salt of the Mediterranean and the papyrus dust of the great library. But you do not feel like a king. You feel like a spectator. It begins with a realization that hits you in the chest like a physical blow. She is not like you. You are both Ptolemies, blood of the Greeks, heirs to Alexander's fractured empire. You both wear the linen of pharaohs and the silk of the East. But while you look at the map and see borders, armies, and tax revenues, she looks at the map and sees a living organism. She speaks the language of the Egyptians, the first of your bloodline to bother learning the tongue of the people you rule. You hear her in the corridors, her voice shifting effortlessly from Greek to Egyptian to Aramaic to Hebrew. It terrifies you. Why does it terrify you? Because power in Egypt is a zero-sum game. For her to rise, you must fall. This is the first lesson of being her husband. You are her rival before you are her lover. In the early days, when you are merely a boy, her brother by blood and husband by law, you watch her across the ceremonial hall. She sits with a posture that suggests she is holding up the sky. The courtiers, the eunuchs, the generals, they watch you, but they listen to her. You try to assert yourself. You are the male heir. The tradition dictates that you should lead, but when you speak, your words echo in the vast halls, thin and reedy. When she speaks, the air changes pressure. She doesn't command with volume. She commands with precision. She knows the price of grain in Thebes. She knows which general is gambling away his loyalty in the brothels of the port. She knows things a god should know, and you are just a mortal boy wearing a heavy gold hat. The insecurity eats at you. It is a rot that starts in the stomach. You listen to your advisors, pompous men like Pothinus who whisper that she is dangerous, that a woman cannot rule, that she will sell Egypt to the Romans or worse, keep it all for herself. You want to believe them. You want to believe that you are the victim here, the rightful king being usurped by a witch. But deep down in the silence of the night, you know the truth. She isn't stealing the throne. She is the throne. Being her husband means living in a constant state of comparison. Every decision you make is measured against what she would have done. You order a festival, she organizes a famine relief. You buy a new chariot, she negotiates a trade deal with the Arabs. You are playing at being a king. She is doing the work of a dynasty. And the hardest part, she doesn't hate you. She looks at you with a pity that burns worse than hatred. She sees you not as an enemy, but as an obstacle, a piece of furniture in the way of her destiny. And you realize with a cold dread that furniture can be removed. You decide to fight. If you cannot outsmart her, you will overpower her. This is the tragedy of your first incarnation as her husband. You are young, malleable, and surrounded by men who fear her intellect more than they fear Rome. You banish her. You strip her name from the official documents. You tell the scribes to carve only your cartouche into the temple walls. For a moment, you feel powerful. You sit alone on the dual throne, the empty seat beside you a testament to your victory. But the silence of the palace is deafening. Without her, the energy of Alexandria feels stagnant. You have the crown, but she has the narrative. Even in exile, she haunts you. Spies report that she is raising an army in the desert, gathering mercenaries, charming Bedouin sheikhs. How does she do it? You have the treasury of Egypt, yet she has the loyalty of men who have never even seen her face. It is infuriating. Then comes the mistake that defines you. Pompey the Great, a Roman titan, seeks refuge on your shores. You think you are being clever. You think that by killing him, you will impress Julius Caesar, the new master of the world. You stand on the shore watching the head of a legend severed from his body, and you feel a surge of nausea. You tell yourself this is statecraft. You tell yourself this is what a strong husband, a strong king does. When Caesar arrives, you present your grisly gift. You expect gratitude. Instead, you see disgust. You see a Roman general weep for his enemy. In that moment, you realize you have misunderstood everything. You played a game of checkers while the world was playing chess, and then she returns, not with an army, but with a carpet or a laundry sack. The details will be debated by historians for centuries, but you remember the feeling. You are in the palace arguing your case to Caesar, shouting about your rights, your sovereignty. Then she is revealed, disheveled perhaps, but radiant. She doesn't look like a queen in exile. She looks like a deity descending. She speaks to Caesar not as a supplicant, but as an equal. You watch them. You watch the most powerful man in the world lean in, captivated. You see the spark, not just of lust, but of intellectual recognition. They speak a language of power that you do not possess. In that room, with the sea breeze blowing through the columns, you realize your marriage was never a union of souls. It was a placeholder. You were merely keeping the seat warm for a man who could actually match her. The rage consumes you. You throw your crown to the floor. You weep. You scream to the mob outside that you have been betrayed, and you have been, but not by her. You have been betrayed by your own mediocrity. You wage war against them, the battle of the Nile. You wear golden armor that shines like the sun, but armor cannot protect you from destiny. When your boat capsizes and the heavy gold drags you down into the dark, silty water of the Nile, your last thought is of her. She has won, not because she fought harder, but because she understood that the world belongs to those who dare to rewrite it. The water fills your lungs and the darkness takes you, but the story does not end. You open your eyes and the perspective shifts. You are no longer the boy king. You are now the shadow of the man who replaced him. You are the consciousness observing her next union, this time with Julius Caesar. You are not technically her husband now. Rome does not recognize foreign marriages, but you are her partner in every sense that matters. You have brought her to Rome. You have installed her in your villa across the Tiber, a scandal that shakes the foundations of the Republic. You watch her navigate this new world. To the Romans, she is a curiosity, a threat, the Egyptian woman. They mock her decadent court, her eunuchs, her display of wealth. But you know the truth, she is studying them. Living with her in Rome is a daily lesson in geopolitics. She brings with her the astronomers who will help you reform the calendar, the Julian calendar that will measure time for millennia. She brings the administrative expertise of a bureaucracy older than Rome itself. You sit with her in the garden, discussing the Parthian campaign, and she points out logistical flaws in your supply lines that your veteran generals missed. She gives you a son, Caesarion. You look at the child and see the fusion of Rome and Egypt. It terrifies your friends. It enrages your enemies. They whisper that you intend to move the capital to Alexandria, that you want to be a king, a god monarch like the pharaohs. And why wouldn't you? Being with her makes you feel divine. She treats you not just as a consul or a dictator, but as an epoch. She elevates your ambition. Before her, you wanted to rule Rome. With her, you want to rule the world. But there is a coldness to this arrangement too. You know she is using you to secure her throne. You know she needs your legions to keep her sister Arsinoe in check and to stabilize the Egyptian harvest. Does she love you? Perhaps, but she loves Egypt more. You accept this transaction because the dividends are so high. She is the only person who understands the loneliness of absolute power. When you are with her, you don't have to pretend to be a Republican humble servant. You can be the autocrat you truly are. Yet you feel the knives sharpening in the dark. The Senate hates her presence. Cicero calls her the queen with a sneer that drips poison. Her golden statue stands in the temple of Venus Genetrix, placing her among the gods. It is too much, too fast. You have let her ambition feed yours until it has become a beast that Rome must slay. The Ides of March comes. As the blades sink into your flesh, as you pull your toga over your face to die with dignity, a fleeting thought crosses your fading mind. What will happen to her? You leave her alone in a city of wolves. You were her shield, and now you are a corpse. You failed the test of being her husband because you underestimated the hatred of small men for great things. You leave her to flee in the night, back to the safety of her ships, carrying the weight of your legacy and the target on her back. Death releases you again, and the wheel turns. You are now Mark Antony. You are a soldier, a man of appetites, a man of the earth. You are not the intellectual Caesar was. You are visceral, loud, and passionate, and you are about to meet your match. She summons you to Tarsus. You demand she come to you, but she makes you wait. When she finally arrives, she doesn't just walk into a room. She stages a theatrical masterpiece. She comes up the river on a barge with a gilded stern, purple sails, and silver oars, keeping time to the music of flutes and harps. She is dressed as Aphrodite. You are Dionysus. It is not a meeting. It is a seduction of the senses. Being her husband in this incarnation is a chaotic, glorious storm. It is different from Caesar. Caesar admired her mind. You are consumed by her entirety. She sees that beneath your armor, you are a man who craves validation, who needs to be awed, and she gives you awe. She plays dice with you, drinks with you, curses like a sailor with you. She abandons the stiff etiquette of the court to roam the streets of Alexandria at night, disguised as a servant, getting into brawls and laughing until your sides ache. You form the Society of Inimitable Livers. It sounds like a joke, but it is a philosophy. You live every day as if it is your last, because you both know it might be. The luxury is obscene. Feasts where boars are roasted whole, just in case you might be hungry at a specific hour. Floors covered in rose petals a foot deep, but amidst the wine and the gold, there is strategy. She is binding you to her. She needs a protector for her children, especially Caesarion. She needs a sword against Octavian, the cold, calculating nephew of Caesar who is rising in the west. And you? You need her wealth. You need her grain to feed your legions, but more than that, you need her belief in you. Rome sees you as a drunkard, a brute. She sees you as a god. She manages you. There is no other word for it. When you are angry, she soothes you. When you are lazy, she goads you. There is a famous moment where you are fishing and catching nothing, embarrassed in front of her. You pay a diver to put a fish on your hook. She notices, but says nothing. The next day, she invites everyone to watch you fish, but she pays a diver to put a salted, dried fish on your hook. The crowd laughs, and you laugh too. She teaches you to laugh at yourself, but the lesson is clear. Do not try to deceive me. I see everything. You are the most powerful man in the East, yet you are happy to be her consort. You give her territories, Cyprus, Crete, parts of Syria, as if they were trinkets. Rome screams treason, but you don't care. In her arms, the Republic feels like a distant grey memory. Here in the sun of Egypt, you are alive. The peak of your life as her husband comes on a day of blinding sun, the donations of Alexandria. Alexandria. This is the moment you cross the point of no return. You sit on a golden throne in the gymnasium of Alexandria. She sits beside you, dressed as the goddess Isis. You look at the children. There is Caesarion, Caesar's son, looking like a young king. You declare him the king of kings. You declare your own children with her, Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene, kings of Armenia, Media, and Cyrenaica. You are carving up the Roman Empire and handing it to Egyptian children like slices of cake. To the crowd, it is a promise of a new golden age, an empire of the East that blends Greek and Egyptian, Roman and Asian. To Octavian in Rome, it is a declaration of war. You know this as you speak the words. You see the glint in Cleopatra's eyes. This is her ultimate victory. She has restored the territories her ancestors lost centuries ago. She has used Roman swords to rebuild the Ptolemaic Empire, and you allowed it. Nay, you orchestrated it. Why? Because you are drunk on her vision. She has convinced you that Rome is the past, rigid, dour, ungrateful Rome. Alexandria is the future. Alexandria is cosmopolitan, rich, enlightened. You want to be the emperor of the East, but there is a shadow on this sunny day. You look at the crowd and wonder if you have gone too far. You have alienated your own countrymen. You have become the Egyptian in their eyes. You have traded your Roman identity for her love. A husband protects his wife, yes, but does a husband dismantle his own homeland for her? She touches your hand on the armrest of the throne. Her touch is electric, grounding. She whispers something in Greek, a joke about the humidity. She is calm. She is always calm when the stakes are highest. You draw strength from her, but deep down, the soldier in you knows that you have just signed your own death warrant. You have given Octavian exactly what he needed, a narrative. He will not fight Mark Antony, the Roman hero. He will fight Cleopatra, the foreign sorceress who has unmanned him, and you are the proof of her sorcery. The war comes, as it was always going to, Actium. The name will ring through history as a synonym for disaster. You are there, on the flagship. The sea is choppy. The air smells of salt and pitch. Across the water lies Octavian's fleet, smaller, lighter, but disciplined. Your fleet is massive, heavy, laden with gold and siege engines. The strategy was flawed from the start. You should have fought on land. Your legions love you. On land, you are invincible. But she insisted on a naval battle. Why? Because on the sea, she can be part of it. Her fleet is here. She would not stay behind in Egypt to wait for the news. She had to be present. Her need to control the outcome has jeopardized the outcome. The battle begins and it is a mess. The wind is against you. Malaria has ravaged your crews. You watch ships burning, men screaming as they drown in heavy armor. And then you see it. Her flagship, the Antonia, hoisting its purple sails. Is she maneuvering to flank? Is she attacking? No. She is turning the prow south. She is catching the wind. She is fleeing. Time stops. The woman you gave everything for, your honor, your country, your soul, is leaving you in the middle of the slaughter. This is the ultimate test of the husband. What do? Do you stay and die with your men, as a Roman general should? Do you finish the fight? No, you are not a Roman anymore. You are hers. You cannot exist in a world where she is not. Without a word to your officers, you board a small, fast ship and follow her. You leave thousands of men who swore loyalty to you to die or surrender. You chase the purple sails like a dog chasing its master. When you board her ship, you do not speak to her. You go to the prow and sit alone, head in your hands, for 3 days. The shame is a physical weight, heavier than the golden armor of Ptolemy, heavier than the toga of Caesar. You realize that her survival instinct is stronger than her loyalty. She calculated that the battle was lost and decided to save the treasury and herself. And you were just collateral damage she expected to follow. And you did. You proved her right. You proved that you are no longer a man of your own will. Back in Alexandria, the party is over. The Society of Inimitable Livers is disbanded. You form a new society, the Companions in Death. You vow to die together in a blaze of glory, but the atmosphere is suffocating. You watch her. She is frantic, testing poisons on prisoners to see which offers the most painless death. She is packing treasures into her tomb. She is negotiating with Octavian behind your back, trying to secure the crown for Caesarion. You know this. You intercept the looks of the messengers. She is trying to cut a deal that might save her children, even if it means sacrificing you. Does it hurt? Yes, but you understand. She is a mother and a queen before she is a wife. This is the hard truth of the husband of Cleopatra. You are dispensable. You love a force of nature, and nature is cruel. You spend your days drinking, trying to recapture the magic of the Dionysus years, but the wine tastes like vinegar. Octavian's army is at the gates. Your own troops are defecting in droves. They see a broken man. They see a man who ran away. Then comes the final blow. A messenger arrives with news. Cleopatra is dead. She has killed herself in her tomb to avoid capture. The world goes grey. If she is gone, there is no reason to breathe. The script of your life was written by her, and without the author, the character ceases to exist. You don't hesitate. You don't ask for proof. You ask your servant Eros to kill you. He refuses and kills himself instead. A final rebuke. Even your slave has more honor than you. You take the sword. You drive it into your stomach. It is messy. It is painful. You botch it. You lie there bleeding, begging for someone to finish you off. And then the twist. She isn't dead. It was a ruse, a test, a mistake, a way to motivate you to suicide so she could negotiate better terms with Octavian. You will never know. They carry you, dying, to her tomb. They hoist you up on ropes because the doors are sealed. You are bloody, dying, humiliated, and there she is. She rips her clothes, she beats her breast, she covers her face with your blood. In your final moments, as you die in her arms, you do not feel anger. You feel relief. You are finally, truly, inextricably hers. You have paid the final price of admission. You are gone, but the story has one final chapter. You watch from the other side as she faces the end alone. Octavian enters. He is immune to her charm. He is cold, calculating, a machine. He wants to parade her in chains through Rome. He wants to turn the goddess into a trophy. She will not allow it. This is her final act of sovereignty. She has a meal brought to her, a basket of figs. Hidden inside is the instrument of her freedom, an asp, a cobra, the symbol of Egyptian royalty. She dresses in her finest state robes. She does not die as a defeated woman. She dies as a pharaoh. When the snake bites, it is not a tragedy. It is a coronation. So, what was it like to be her husband? It was to be burned by a fire too bright for human eyes. It was to be elevated to the heavens and then dropped from the clouds. It was to know that you were loved, but never as much as she loved her crown, her country, and her own legend. Ptolemy drowned for her. Caesar bled for her. Antony fell on his sword for her. She consumed us all. And yet if you asked any of us standing on the shores of the afterlife if we would do it again, if we would choose the quiet life of an ordinary man or the glorious, agonizing chaos of being hers, we would all choose the fire. We would all choose her. Because history forgets the ordinary, but history will never ever forget us as long as our names are written next to hers.